It is March the 24th, 2009, and we are in Coweta, Oklahoma, visiting in the home of Evelyn Sloat. And we understand that Mrs. Sloat, as a child, lived in the Oklahoma Dust Bowl region. So hello, Mrs. Sloat. It's so nice to meet you.
Hello.
And could you tell us, please, where did you live in Oklahoma during the Dust Bowl?
At Hallett, Oklahoma.
All righty. And that's close to Stillwater, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this be east of Stillwater.
Okay, very good. And we have a family picture we're going to show in just a moment of your family. But I wanted to ask, when you lived in Hallett, can you tell me about your family? Can you tell us, please, your parents' names?
My father's name was Luther Turnbow, and mother was Rosa Turnbow.
And that's spelled Turnbow, correct?
Correct.
And I understand that you had an older sister and a younger brother. What was your sister's name when you lived there?
Aline.
All right. And what was your little brother's name?
Otis.
Otis Turnbow. Okay. Well, we talked about several different things, but I know that you were telling me about your father's farm. What did he grow on his farm?
I remember cotton and corn mainly.
All right. Now today people use tractors to plant and to harvest cotton and corn. What did your dad have access to at that time?
He had a team of mules.
All right.
And named Tobe and Kit.
Tobe and Kit. Okay. And what color were they?
White.
All right. Well, now, if you didn't have machines to do this, and I'm sure he used the mules for plowing and things, but how did you get the cotton and the corn harvested?
He did it himself.
Okay.
With the team and wagon.
All right. And he basically picked everything himself.
Yes.
Now, when you were little, did you pick cotton?
Yes, I did.
How hard is it?
How hard it is? It's hard, very hard on your back.
Okay. All right. You got to get down there low. In the picture that we referred to earlier, we were talking about the clothing in the picture. Now, did your family, did they buy a lot of material? How did they get the fabric to make the clothes?
My mom always bought flannel by the yard, boat, to make our underclothing, and feed sacks for the dresses.
Okay.
Sometimes the underwear would be made out of sugar sack.
Sugar sack clothing. Okay. Now, you talked about the flannel, and she made bloomers for you.
Yes, bloomers.
Okay.
For long stockings.
All right. Now tell us, what are bloomers? Because some people won't know what bloomers are.
They're what you'd call panties today, but then they were long. They came down to the knees.
All right. And you said they had elastic at the waist.
And at the knee.
And at the knee. And then you said that little girls would wear long stockings.
Yes.
Okay. And you, how'd they keep the stockings up?
They kept stockings up by the elastic and the bloomers.
All righty. Thank you. Now, we talked about your family living in Hallett during the Dust Bowl, and the people that are watching this podcast today, can you tell us about what you saw as a child with various dust storms and things?
Well, I can recall seeing the dust start rolling in. It was just rolling in like a cloud, only it was down on the ground, and it was very difficult to breathe in the air. If Mom had the clothing out on the clothesline, the wash hanging on the clothesline, it would be dirtier when she took it down than what it was when she hung it out or washed it.
Bless her heart. Bless her heart. What kind of washing machine did she have?
She didn't have a washing machine. She had a tub with rinse water. She built a fire on the outside usually to heat the water, and she washed outside on a rub board.
Amazing, amazing. Now tell me, what did your parents do around the house to try to keep the dust out of the house before the storms would come?
They stuffed rags and newspapers around the windows where the dust would creep in, around the doors and windows.
All right. Well, now I understand that you and your brother became ill living there at Hallett. And can you tell us the story of the night that you all got sick? Can you tell us about that, please?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
About the school bus and things. Can you tell us about when you got sick?
We had dust pneumonia to where our immune system was wore down. And one winter when we had lots of rain and the creeks were set, the school bus had taken us home from school, got stuck. And it was way off out in the country. And no one around, so they had finally contacted a farm that was several mile or two away, and they came with a team and wagon to pick up the children out of the school bus and took it to their house. There we stayed all night in the wet clothing, sat around the fire to keep warm, and then the next morning they put us back in the wagon and team, and there was a creek real close to the house, and it was just rolling over, flooded. Had a bridge over the creek, and they had to blindfold the horses to lead them across this bridge, taking us home. And my dad was on the other side waiting for us. And then we got real bad sick with pneumonia, double pneumonia. And they kept us at home for a while. Doctors came to the house and a nurse came and stayed at night with us. But we continued to grow worse till they finally took us to the hospital in Tulsa, to Morningside Hospital, which is Hillcrest now.
All right, okay.
And there we was, I think we were there about 3 months.
Bless your hearts. Well, I'm sure that you were so sick, even when you came home, you were very weak. What did the doctors suggest for your family to do to help you and your brother stay healthy?
The doctors told my dad that unless he moved away from the Dust Bowl area, that we wouldn't live through it much longer. So he sold out and moved to Arkansas.
All right. Now, I know that you told me when your family moved to the Hallett area, you said that you moved with a team and a wagon.
Right.
I just love that. I wanted to make sure and add that. Now, when your family moved farther east, you had then a brother and 2 sisters. What was your brother's name?
Euless and Pauline.
All right, and Pauline. All right, very, very good. Well, before we close today, and we appreciate you sharing your story so much, we had talked about the school bus, and you told about how people are so resourceful and they can use things for different purposes. Would you share just a little bit about the purpose that the gentleman that owned the school bus used?
Well, he hauled cattle. He had a rack that he put on the back of his truck for tall cattle, and then he would put on a rack for the bus with seats.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
That's okay. That's okay.
just turn it off.
Yes. Yes. And so he used it to haul cattle and to as a school bus.
Yes.
And did you say you'd find pieces of straw and things in the bus?
Yes. You could tell that he'd been hauling cattle.
All right, okay. Well, again, we want to thank you so much for your story of the 1930s and the Dust Bowl and your family's life at Hallett, Oklahoma. And we hope that everyone viewing has enjoyed this podcast from Miss Evelyn in Coweta. And thank you all and have a wonderful day.